How do you prove that your technology solution can do what you say it can do? And how do you make sure that you do it in days and not weeks and months? In this video, I'll show you how to ensure that your customers get the solution and value that they need to be successful without you spending large amounts of money and months of your time to prove it to them. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit like and subscribe to keep updated on the new content that we release. My name's Andy Waterhouse. I'm the Presales Coach. Let's get started. Proving that your technology does what you say it does is a key element of any sales process. We all should have referenceable customers and case studies that show what we've done with other customers. But what if you need to run a specific proof phase? There's a lot of confusion around what is a proof of concept, POC, a proof of value, POV, and a pilot. You need to determine if a technology solution is the right fit for your customers' needs. But how do you ensure that your customers get the solution and value that they need to be successful? Choosing the wrong option can delay the deal or even kill it. So let's start by defining what we mean by each option. A proof of concept is a small-scale experiment to test the feasibility of a solution. You'd normally use this approach on very new technologies where a customer has no idea if the technology will actually work or not. You'd run a POC in a limited environment with a very specific set of tests that are completely bespoke to the customer. A proof of value is about proving the value of the solution in a controlled environment that's specific to the customer. There must have been a well-run discovery process to determine the extent of the customer challenges that are being solved and the costs associated with those problems. A pilot is an in-depth real-world trial that's an actual production deployment. You'd use a pilot when you're ready to go big and commit to a more extensive trial of a complex technology solution, or if you're running a product-led growth sales motion. So how do you choose the right approach? Well, it depends on a number of key factors such as where are you in the sales cycle? How mature is your technology? How well educated is the customer on the technology solution? How large is the opportunity? And how quickly do they want to make a decision? You'll also need to consider cost and timescales. A POC and POV are usually run free of charge and would last for a relatively short period of time as long as you're managing the process correctly. A pilot is normally paid for. It requires a contract and can last for a number of months. In order to do any type of proof, you need something to prove. That means it's unlikely that you'd run any of these processes early in the sales cycle. I know of some companies that will offer an early POC, but that's basically a show and tell, a fishing expedition. Instead of doing this, run a well-structured demo process to drive the discussion around the company's needs. Check out my video on demo hell for more information. The link is in the description below. You should only use a POC for technology or a market that's new or immature. It's a great way to help educate the customer on the reason for building the solution and helping them to uncover how it could benefit their business. But be careful running a POC too early in the sales cycle, or else you might end up running a second POC as you try to close the deal. You're just duplicating effort. You should use the POC to highlight the key elements of the new technology, why it's so different to anything else that's available, and how it will help solve a customer problem and help them drive more value into their business. Make sure that it's all documented prior to starting the POC. If the technology or market is well defined, then it's no longer a concept that you're proving. You should actually be proving that the solution brings value to the customer instead, and that's where the POV comes into play. You should have already run a detailed discovery process and then run through workshops to help identify the required capabilities of the solution, including understanding the customer costs and the value of the new solution. You should also be influencing the list of required capabilities to include your key competitive differentiators. This list of required capabilities now become the lists of the items that you'll demonstrate in the POV, unless you've already signed some of them off during the workshops that you ran with the customers. You now need to do two things. Agree with the customer that if you meet all of the required capabilities, they'll move into a purchasing process. And secondly, that any competitor that gets pulled into the process must also meet the list of required capabilities. As you can see, a POV only makes sense late in the sales cycle when you have value that you can prove. You've got a well-defined list of RCs that can usually be done in less than a week, and therefore it shortens the sales cycle. A pilot has two different use cases that depend on the sales motion. If you're a product-led growth, a PLG company, then a pilot is the free 14-day or 1-month trial that you provide to try and hook the customer. This is a very effective process as long as the customer actually tries the solution. You must ensure that you're reaching out to all trial participants to ensure they're using the solution and getting value from it. The second type of pilot is where you have a complex solution and the customer needs an extended period of time to try it. This could be due to integration needs or business process changes. This is a very expensive program to run, and it's almost always chargeable to cover the people and product costs that you incur. It should be at the end of a sales cycle and will require a contract to be in place. Too many lazy salespeople go straight to offering a POC before they've even understood the business pain. This is a disaster waiting to happen, plus it's a complete waste of time. They do this as it's easier than having to find out what the customer needs and then show value instead. If a customer says they need to run a POC to test integration to their systems, then push back. You should be able to use a reference site for integration proof and ability to scale. You could always run a demo to show those integration capabilities as well as part of a POV. Product complexity can be the enemy in a proof cycle. A well-controlled POV focuses the customer on what they need from a solution. Agree a list of test cases, the RCs, and don't allow sprawl of requirements just because they see something that they like. Emphasize the need to stay on track with the decision timeline. If they push back, then the deal might not be real anyway. Proving that your technology does what you say it does is a key element of any sales process. Selecting the correct approach to the proof phase can massively improve your probability of successfully closing a deal. Choosing between a proof of concept, proof of value, or pilot doesn't have to be daunting. It's all about understanding customer needs as well as your needs, your goals, and of course the technology solution. If you like this video, then hit like and subscribe to keep updated on the new content that we release. And why not subscribe to our newsletter for updates on what's happening, plus hints and tips about pre-sales. Links are in the video description below. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below as well. Until the next time, I'm Andy Waterhouse. I'm the pre-sales coach. Thanks for watching.